Okay, looking at synopsizing here. It's a big topic. Listening and holding your own part, and singing in pitch, and singing with polish, and singing with blend. It's a thing. So the main thing is in my opinion, is the frame. It's the listening frame that you got. You can support it with vocal technique. You can support it with retraction. You can support it with posture. But what you're listening to at any given moment is what guides your voice. So listening to your voice in the first place is a crucial ingredient. You can't get away from it. You have to listen to your own voice. Some people try and avoid that because they're not sure whether they're going to like their own voice. But either way, you need to listen to your own voice. If you learn to like it, that's great. But you have to listen to your own voice in order to sing in tune. The other thing that helps for you to sing in tune is to listen to your playback and be listening to that at the same time. Your playback is your memory of the oral of the sound of how your part goes. If you can be connecting in with that at all times, then you can sing, and you're listening to your own voice, then you can sing and hold your own part, right? It's not a multitasking experience. It's not I've listened to my voice now I'll go and check on my playback, and now I'll go and check on the parts that are singing around me, and now I'll listen to my own voice, and now I'll listen to my playback. It's not a multitasking experience. It's a simultaneous awareness experience. So you're listening to your own voice and you're listening to your playback, and even comparing them and noticing the agreement between those different sounds, those different voices, your voice and the voice in the back of your head. Then you've got the voices around you, and once you listen to them, then your voice is also going to respond to the voices that you hear around you, and that leads to blend, that leads to unity of volume, that leads to unity of rhythm, leads to agreement on all sorts of levels, tonally, pitch-wise, rhythm, expression. So it's just wanting to get across. This is something that I discovered about 20 years ago. I had a really, really pitch challenged person in my choir, and all the normal tricks that I tried didn't really work. And I had a lesson with her, and in that I discovered that she wasn't listening to her own voice. She wasn't listening to a playback. She didn't even know that she had one. And she had a really strong internal dialogue that had been supported by her teenage kids, which was saying, why do you inflict yourself on these choirs? Why do you inflict yourself in, are they mad? Why haven't they chucked you out? You have an awful voice. So she had that internal dialogue going on in her head. She was listening to that, but she wasn't listening to her own voice. She wasn't listening to a playback. And she was listening to everything. She was listening to the overall sound. She was listening to the choir as a whole. She was a visual artist and a Bowen therapist, and she was listening to everything, but no one thing in particular. So part of what it is to sing and hold your part is to choose what you listen to, and you can choose what you listen to. Some people talk about, the sopranos come in and I just go over to their part. It doesn't have to be that way. You can actually choose what you listen to. You can choose to go into the bathroom and then notice what the sound of your voice is like in the bathroom as in comparison to the lounge room or outside. You can cup your ear like this and try and direct some of the sound from your mouth to your ear and get an isolated sound of your own voice. It's crucial that you listen to your own voice. It's crucial. That is the guiding factor of singing in tune and in blend. You have to always be listening to your own voice. You have to always be listening to your playback of your part in particular. Once you've heard all the other parts, your memory is flexible enough that you can hear all the other parts at the same time, but you need to be able to highlight your particular part in your playback. So conductors are doing it all the time, where you're listening to multiple parts, and that's part of how we can jump around parts, is that they're all playing back there, and then we highlight one, or we listen out. What's the tenor? Okay, go. What's the bass? Go. What's the alto? Go. What's the soprano? Go. And just skip parts, because we hear it in the playback and respond to it with the voice. As a singer in an ensemble, if you're listening to your playback of your part and your own voice, and you're listening to the blend, you're listening to the volume, you're listening to the tone color, you're listening to the sound of the whole as well, success. You're going to be going well. So, and sure, throw vocal technique on top of that, learn that, but one of the primary skills of an ensemble singer, a harmony singer, is that listening structure, that listening frame, simultaneous awareness of the voice, the playback, and the people around you. Enjoy.